Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Black Hat News. I'm Dave Jemmett, your host and the CEO of CISO Global, a publicly traded company for cybersecurity. It's CISO is our ticker symbol, and it stands for Chief Information Security Officer. Today, we're going to talk about AI trends and cybersecurity. More importantly, how AI can't replace the human touch. And I'm hosting at our esteemed guest, Venki Krishnababu. And I would like you to introduce yourself, if you don't mind, and a little about who you represent, because if I screw it up, my family's going to kill me.
Thank you, David. I'm super stoked to be here. What a cool space. The talk of the town is like always AI. There's so many venues to talk about AI. The one unique thing when we conversed over Zoom was the human connection aspect of it, which really excites me, to having conversation AI and the human connection aspect of it. And a little bit background about me. I've been past 30 years doing nothing but enabling awesome retailers, awesome brands with innovative technology. The most important part, which I enjoy the most, is how I do it, is with building high-performing teams, delivering incredible results, learning and growing with the brand, and having fun. I'm at the cusp of completing 1 year at Dutch Bros. I'm new to the Valley. What an awesome place to live. A very welcoming community. And I would say, to summarize this 1 year, it's been one heck of incredible, fun, exciting, nerve-wracking journey all at once. We are a publicly traded company, and we are around 1,100 shops, and it's been, and we are continuing to grow. It's a rapid growth, and it's been an amazing journey so far. So thanks for having me here.
I appreciate it. And your background, you worked for Lululemon, and what did you do with them?
Yeah, oh my God. So Lululemon, my journey started in 2017 when they were just at $2 billion. I left last December as a CTO of Lululemon. At the time, it was $10.5 billion. So what I would say is it's a significant technology transformation, and taking them to the cloud, digital transformation, building the data lakes, and positioning data as a strategic asset for the company. All in all, it was, I would say, take the company where it is and where it went. It's a very product-centric, people-centric company. It's all about enabling business and partnering with business and working with our store associates. We call them educators. When I started, it was 300 stores, and when I left, it was around 600 to 700 stores. Wow. When we started, 7 countries or 8 countries. When I left, it was 19 countries. So it's in a very humbling, at the same time, a remarkable journey. It's all about positioning technology as a strategic enabler for the company. And I had the honor and the privilege to do that with the awesome folks.
Well, I don't doubt my family loves this. If I screw this interview up, I'm in trouble because they love Dutch Bros. They have to have it every morning. So the issue is, you transitioned into Dutch Bros last December, correct?
Yep.
And I'm sure now the summer's over, people are coming to your house now because the weather's perfect, right?
Yep.
So we appreciate you coming here today, but more importantly, having you in the Valley, an esteemed name with their background. So let's talk about Dutch Bros. You said the founder was in today?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me a little about that.
So Trav Boersma, who's one of our founder, and he was in our campus. He comes quarterly once, and we do this something called a Trav Talk, which is all about him sharing his story, or sometimes talking about some leadership. I wouldn't call it as lessons, advice. We always learn from him. He's such an awesome human to start with, and every time I interact with him, I get what I call nothing but positive energy, and he truly is a role model in radiating kindness. So that's why I'm extra pumped today because I get to meet Trav and spend some quality time with him as well.
And you didn't drink any coffee before you came?
No, actually,
Okay.
I had my coffee in the morning, and now just settled for sparkling water.
Fantastic. Well, I will tell you with the experience, I personally have not gone to Dutch Brothers that often, but now I'm getting the double eagle. Right?
Golden
Eagle.
That's one of the top selling drinks for us.
Wow.
Iced or hot?
Iced.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was expecting it to be a hot one. That's okay.
That's okay. I drink my coffee hot. My candy drinks I drink cold.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense. Okay.
But that kind of brings you. You said the human touch, and we talked about that a little before the interview. What's really amazing to me is no matter what day I go, if I go pick it up for the family or pick one up for myself, they're excited to have me there. And they actually remember my name, and I probably have only been there once a month. So that has to be cultivated. So how is that cultivated in this culture of yours?
Yeah, I think before I answer that question, I want to share my own personal experience in my early interview days with Dutch Bros, which is in what I call it acted as a gravitational force for me to really, how can every shop, the same culture of connection, the authentic human connection is there, serving with that energy and that experience you're getting is very consistent. And coming from Lululemon, at that time I was working at Lululemon,
right?
It's remarkable to think about how do we have this type of authentic human connection, and it's not just for every single interaction matters, right? And it starts actually, like what I said, right? Our culture core values are like radiating kindness and get up early and staying up late. It doesn't mean you're exactly getting up early and staying up late, working longer. It's not about that. It's being committed, working hard, getting stuff, and then changing the world one cup at a time. We don't say it for the sake of saying, we mean it, and we wanted to show it with actions, and that's one thing. And it's also we are a mind-blowing and fun-loving company. In addition, who are really, really into changing the world at one cup at a time. So if I look at it, the first thing which I noticed, and I visited the shops to understand how this all works, I really saw amazing humans working together as one unit and serving that customer with utmost care, genuine care and connection. And the product is there, but how you serve the product matters. Every day, our broistas, we call our store associates as broistas, not baristas. That it's a unique term, and I enjoy working with them. I worked at the shop as well when I started.
Really?
This is what connects me, like a company who invest. When I joined, part of my onboarding, my boss, Christine Barone, said, you have to go through the shop and get the training done, and you have to get certified. So I spent one full week at the shop in my hometown in Seattle. When Renton was the shop, it was snowing. We still stayed out, worked, learned, and cleared the barista certification. And it's not easy. It's all combination of drinks you have to make. You have to remember the combination of flavors, shots, and milk, all the stuff I learned from the shop. A leader there, and most importantly, being part of the team. I get to witness in person. Is nothing like putting your boots on the ground and being at the shop and learning the culture, learning the business. That was one incredible, unique experience. I've done that with Nordstrom. I've done that with Lululemon. What is unique about Dutch Bros is that the interaction time in Lululemon, because it's a product, you show the product, you spend more time, but the interaction time is, if you think about it, it's really like 1 minute to 3 minutes in the window, and then you're going in, getting the drinks. How can you create that type of connection and conversations and serve with that much energy and experience throughout the day? And you're standing all day, and it's a 800 foot in a foot space. You work through it, and there are 6 folks are there already, and you have positions. All these things together, what I would say, that human connection lives and the culture lives in every shop, every window, every human, every barista. It doesn't matter what my role, doesn't matter. The title and all comes later. You're here to serve our customer with utmost care and connection and energy. That's always been our differentiation. That always be our differentiation.
Yeah, compared to your competitors, right? When we're back east, because Dutch Bros has not gone back east, and they have to have a substitute. It's like a Charlie Chaplin movie versus, a blockbuster like Transformers, right? They're energetic. So I got to ask, it begs the question, do they get free coffee while they're working?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I was wondering.
I can go to the shop. Once you're working, you make your drink. You get to make your own drink. Yeah.
That's great, because I'm wondering how they stay motivated or
Yeah.
jazzed that long. And
Are you
standing
interested,
that long.
David? I'm just kidding.
What's that?
Are you interested, David? I said,
I appreciate it. I got a full-time job now. But that kind of, let's transition to, I have talked to some other folks who do manufacturing or hospitality, right? And the touch, I don't think I've ever interviewed or actually talked with somebody who has as much passion as you do or seen it within their, different stores. So that's impressive, especially the branding. That's, you could write a whole book on branding of Dutch Bros. So now that AI is coming to task, one of your competitors, I saw for the first time, I happened to see a vending machine, right, for coffee with the different flavors. And it can be iced or not iced. And you just pump the buttons in. It was very, how do you put it, cold. I got the coffee, but, it just wasn't the same having the interaction. So AI is coming. Are they going to replace that? I mean, the Big M, I don't want to say their name, but they had a whole shop of drinks, right? That you would put it in and it would kick it out. And that store shut down. It was a pilot, and it shut down because they couldn't keep people coming back. So I think you have an edge on that. But AI is something that's coming. And agents, I'd say in the next year to 2 years, it's going to be, how do you feel it will actually work or benefit your organization without taking away that human touch?
Yeah, it's a great question, David. I will start with a personal example and extrapolate that into, how we leverage technology to enable business without losing that core, right? My daughter is studying in the fall quarter in Japan as part of the exchange program, and I always, we stayed and lived together for almost 18 years. The 19th year she went out, and I was always thinking about that in-person connection. The connection always there, either through FaceTime or some way we always stayed connected. When she went to Japan, different time zones and all this stuff, we FaceTimed again, and that connection exists. We never lost the connection, but technology enhanced that connection, made that connection possible, which was not possible 20 years ago, right? All you had is this AT&T calling card, and you're on the phone, right? That's all you can see, but you are so vivid, it's so super clear, and the voice is getting enhanced as part of, even in the low bandwidth, all these things are happening on the fly. So that's personal example. Technology, AI, automate stuff. People create connection. Human good at creating connection. So now I take that and apply that. I don't want to talk about other brands, but many organizations, they use AI. Oh my God, I'm going to, work on this automation, self-service, and all this stuff like you talked about. And it's kind of interesting. This was a real thing. Someone tried to use that self-ordering AI assistant, like 1,000 water bottles or something, and the machine accepted that.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember that.
It has so much. This is kind of going to may sound weird coming from a technologist. I enjoy being a technologist because I'm enabling people, and enabling people includes customers, our baristas, our employees. If that's not the case, I would not dig my job. I would not enjoy my job. So now that said, okay, now take that and extrapolate that, what it means and how we approach here technology, right? It's all about enhancing the customer. It needs to enhance. Every time, even you use our mobile app today, it is a channel for us to create that connection points with barista and our customer. We always being very intentful, very strategically intentful about and deliberate about where we put technology, right? And here are some of another way to look at it. AI should be providing context to our barista. The context is about David is here. That's the context. AI shouldn't be taking over the conversation, which is you're talking to the bot and giving this bot voice, okay, hello, David, what do you want? That's not core to us. You will never see doing that.
Well, I can tell you the AI is getting better than the robot voice.
I get it.
They're actually hackers are simulating.
Oh yeah,
them.
I know. That's another whole thing. Yeah.
I mean, did you hear in Phoenix, the woman for North Korea hiring like 200,000 people? They were looking for jobs, and she had all these computers all over the place. And they were interviewing from North Korea, from Arizona, with different faces, and they were hired as consultants.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And the amount of investment you have to make to get that, it's not today. It's rapidly evolving. I couldn't agree more with you on that. But the technology, which the example company put in, it still is not at, that from a voice standpoint, it's not all that matured. Bottom line is, for us, AI needs to provide the context. I can talk about experience on my previous companies too, right? Instead of you coming to the shop and asking David, what's your size? What's your color? But you're shopping with us for years. Why should we ask that question? We should have that understanding, right? Because you have a specific color taste, you have specific things in your wardrobe, and we have to have an understanding. This is where AI can help us, understanding your shopping taste and understanding your favorites and understanding your time, right? When you're having all those things are data, right? We take that data, give it to AI. AI curates, and then Broista can have this. If you look at our shops, they have an iPad, can provide to, saying that David is here, right? Your favorite drink is Golden Eagle. Is that something you want to have that your favorite, or would you like something else? That's enhancing customer experience. And then on top of that, where I would say is, how do we help humans to reduce repetitive admin tasks? And an example, again, I can go with my previous company example, where all the stock count, inventory management, moving the stocks from the back of the house to the front of the house is a fully intelligent solution where the store associates don't have to worry about. So what that means is, now they've taken that capacity, shifted to spend the time with you and genuinely talk about products and connect with you. That is how I see our guided selling too. You bought this nice pickleball shoes, and now would you like a pair of protective glasses, right? This is guiding the selling part, but never have AI take over a conversation that's between our customer and a Broista, right? It always need to preserve that connection. And that's core to our company, that's core to our culture. So that's why I enjoy being a technologist, to enable that, right? So I hope that kind of answers your question in terms of how do you, leverage AI to enable business and help humans.
I understand 100% after you just gave me that explanation. That kind of moves us to cybersecurity, right? So that's obviously our business. And we have several customers in hospitality as well as restaurants and POS, right? They have point of service or point of sale. And we find it kind of lacking, to say the least, because you can go into the merchant account or you can go through, one of their endpoints. What do you see cybersecurity from your standpoint, not necessarily Dutch Bros, but in the industry? Because what we're seeing is people aren't accepting they're at risk. Like I'd say 60% of the people we go into don't understand actually where their vulnerabilities are, or if they even need cybersecurity. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think in the context of cybersecurity in general, it's getting sophisticated by the day. And every industry is being disrupted by AI. Yeah. No industry is exempted, and the tech industry and the cybersecurity industry, magnitude of that impact is quite significant. You're a veteran, David. 5 years ago, not that long ago, writing an AI bot or a bot to attack somebody, it takes time. Now you can unleash bots at ease, at sophistication, at a scale, volume, all at once, and it's readily available to make it easy. AI helps you to that made attackers' job even more easier, right? So now, all of a sudden, in cybersecurity posture, we are talking about zero trust security, identity first. Yes, all are important. We still have to have those, and from there, how do we MFA? MFA these days is a joke.
Yeah,
right.
There's nothing to it.
Doesn't matter. You can even spoof your SIM, right? So there's so much things you can do to, like you said, this is a real story. I don't want to give names, but the hackers mimicked some relative's voice and called a seniors, and they able to get the bank information and able to drain their account. And this type of things are happening.
We see it every day.
See it every day, right? And you go and in fact help them solve too. So bottom line is that the AI in AI has definitely disrupted cybersecurity, right? There are always there's bad guys on the other end, and there's good guys in there. So the good guys also benefit from AI. We can't use human to fight AI bots. We need to have AI bots to fight AI bot, and fortunately, we have good guys too. So those folks creating AI bots is gotten much more like in the ease, the sophistication, all those things we can do it at speed, and the platforms these days. There's so many platforms are becoming AI aware, right? And understanding, detecting anomaly, understanding the dynamically adapting and learning to the bot's attack surface. All these things are happening. But the fundamental is, how do we shift from, okay, we have the zero trust security, we have high, what I call protection, data protection underneath. We have backups to protect us from ransomware. We have monitoring. All those things are there. Now, take that foundation, layer one more layer. I'm sorry, I banged the microphone. So, so you use that foundation. Still, the fundamentals matters. Defense in depth matters. But then you build this foundation. On top of that, then sophistication happens. This AI layer, agentic AI coming in. How do you interconnect AI agents and talk to each other? And the concept of super agent, right? For each industry, for cybersecurity, there could be one super agent talking to all these micro AI agents and understanding where the attacks are coming and how do we respond to it. That's one. Now, data protection is from a cybersecurity standpoint, is moved from just data protection to data protection and accuracy. If you don't have, AI is this big brain, and data is this body with all the movements, muscles and bones and everything to create movement. The brain wants, the body is needed, and body is the data. And if you don't have the right data, the brain can think all it wants, or it might trigger the wrong organ, and which could be disaster, right? So if you don't have the accurate data, the AI is going to hallucinate. AI is going to provide bias, or it can produce some results which can impact the brand overnight, right? So,
absolutely.
Which means all of a sudden, cybersecurity, one is sophistication, automation, scale. How do we comprehend that? Another one is how do we not only protect the data, how do we make sure the data is accurate? How do we ensure that bad actors are inserting bad data or bad decision trees or tokens or making AI to give bad results? Like how do we govern and manage and automate them to scale the company? So I think those are the two, and then education on top of it, right? Cybersecurity awareness, as you know,
100%.
But I don't know the exact industry. You might know accurately. I think almost 80 or 90% of attacks is because of insider giving of identity information and folks coming in using
90%.
90%. There you go.
More than that, but yeah.
So with all this AI sophistication and folks mimicking the voice and phishing and smishing and all kinds of ishing happening,
Right.
So and AI makes it so real, right? You don't know, and how do we get our users, our end users, to gain awareness about AI and its association with cybersecurity, all those things. So threefold, I would say. One is the overall sophistication in terms of the automation scales, which means we need to choose platforms and make sure the right level of AI is there to protect us, not only protect and defend, and also being proactive about managing attacks, right, coming in. Then second one is data. And the third one, I would say, is really helping educate and awareness and training. Those are the three ways I would say cybersecurity is significantly being disrupted by AI and also evolving with AI.
Yeah, and I would actually say, they have to be educated before they understand, right? So our goal is to educate, and you're probably not aware, but we've been using AI or LLMs for quite some time to develop our software. So it's proactive. So when do you get notified when you're hacked? Typically, afterwards, right?
Afterwards, yeah.
So we've created a proactive software package that's 5 different products that's proactive, and it shuts it down before it comes in. Yeah. And we actually have boxes or machines running full time with AI going out and looking at the malware that's out there and then changing it.
Yeah.
So it can actually see what it could evolve to, like they do with the flu. They see where can it go.
Yeah.
And then we submit that, and then everybody has it across as well as some of the folks that take our feed.
Yeah. And if you don't mind asking, David, and how you are seeing it, you're kind of at the center of this, even much more closer, and how you're seeing AI and like cybersecurity AI, how it's tangled or working together. How do you see it's evolving? And especially companies like us, and I know leaders like us, what are things like we should be thinking about?
Well, obviously you're more educated and you're up to speed. But it's scary. Most of the companies, 60% of the companies we deal with, I've got a product, I'm safe. Even our products, when we put them out, we are not guaranteeing 100% safe. And I'll tell you why. Because Anamorphic, the company, they actually dissected some malware and ransomware attacks. The last one about 3 weeks ago was 90% done by AI.
Wow.
That's today.
Yeah.
Right? About 5 weeks ago, 813 banks were hacked at the same time using AI, different banks intruding on them. So we're seeing it evolve. And the problem is we pay taxes. We have rules and regulations. These people are being funded, we know, from North Korea, Russia, Iran.
Yeah.
They're state sponsored. They're not guys in hoodies anymore. So we're actually seeing our customers they're shocked at some of the things, and they'll call me and like, I've seen this in the paper. Is this real? I'm like, it's more real than you expect. So we see people not being educated, and that's the concern we have. And it's going so fast. And I think there's been so much in the news, they become they don't think about it anymore. They're kind of immune to it, right? They're like, okay, I've seen enough. Well, that's not good enough, because it's not a matter of if anymore, it's when.
Yeah, it's always a when proposition for me.
Right, and it is, and no matter how much you have, like Lloyd's of London backs some of our service products. So if you buy our product, you get $1.5 million for breach. It's easy as that. Well, why do we have the insurance? Because eventually somebody's going to try to breach it, and they'll do it either internally, externally, or physically, right? So it's more about the education that you talked about, and we are so close to it. 3 months ago, FBI and the head of the CIA joint, you can Google it, our viewers can Google it. They literally said the Chinese are in our infrastructure today in the US. And we're like, okay, we knew it from our industry, but they came out and said, if you see Chinese around, nuclear plant or water plant, you need to call the FBI. And that's not a joke. That's serious. And why would they two come out? I can't believe that it wasn't more, distributed amongst America to go, hey, there is a problem. So them saying that, we, the good guys, are getting outflanked by people who, let's say you graduate MIT and you can get a job for $160,000 to $200,000 out of college from cyber. Well, you're still green. Or you can go hack somebody and get 10 million, right, in a couple weeks. Well, that's the ethic issue. And that's what it's really going to come down to in the future. What really scares me is quantum computing and putting AI on top.
Yeah.
They said by 2030, I think it's way before then, the consensus is 2030, they'll be able to break any kind of blockchain with AI. Wow. And I think it's actually closer than 5 years away.
Wow.
So what are we seeing? We're seeing the advancement way further. For example, they have the prototype, cars they build, and you don't see them. They got a 10-year concept. And by the way, the 10-year comes up and it's a totally different car. It's evolving not only on a yearly, but a daily basis with us. And now they're working together, which is pretty scary. If they want to hack you, they will hack you. I always say, what is Marriott, DOD, Target, Sony, CIA, what do they all have in common?
Yeah.
They all been hacked, and they spend a heck of a lot more than you do on cyber, right? So it's an evolving landscape, and it's very disconcerting for us, me personally, because we're in it and seeing it. And the most things we hear on somebody getting hacked and having us come in and do instant response and then remediate it is, I sell alcohol for a living. And I can say that because Andy McCain's on my board. And he gave us permission to talk about it. Hensley Beverage, the largest Anheuser-Busch distributor in America. Guess what? He did it before he sat on my board. He goes, I want to see you do this and what you do. We proved to him we could get into his CFO's computer. We could go through all the whole network, literally through his wireless guest network without even getting a password.
Yeah.
He goes, okay, we'll deal with it and we'll fix it next quarter.
Oh, boy.
Guess what happened a month and a half later? Hey, Dave, I think we're being hacked. 7:30 on a Friday. It was not a great weekend.
Yeah.
But now those are the things is they don't understand is that's what we're seeing. And how do we educate it? I'm not completely sure because there's a lot of experts out there and you have to be wary of the knockoffs, right? People who pontificate and don't understand the true nature of cyber or AI or quantum, and all those combined are pretty scary for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, being a technologist in the past 30 years, I never seen a technology rapidly evolving by the second. By finishing this podcast, I'm sure there's some advancement in AI happen, and we need to go catch up. And catching up with that is being a true significant. I'll be honest, I'm sure you're facing the same challenge too. Like there's so many companies with just agentic AI creating products and happening in weeks these days, not months or years. So, and it gets immediately valued, and evaluation happens right away, and then some big company goes and buys that company. So there's a humongous amount of, it's like the gold rush happening with AI. So many companies so many products, and continuously the LLMs are evolving, and it's just, I never seen this kind of a technology in my past. I mean, internet, digital, cloud, mobile, smartphone, apps, all those things. Yes, that was a significant journey from mainframe to where. But this leap, I would say, is one of the biggest rapid leaps in era of any computing I can see, or in AI. And quantum computing is going to even, like it's a booster rocket in the orbit, like it's going to propel that AI even further, like you said. So I definitely see AI is here. It's going to rapidly evolve, and this is why understanding and learning and how to the how matters so much here, more than the why and the what. Learning about it. How do I take this powerful technology and understand and learn what makes sense for the company, the culture, the people? At the end of the day, it needs to create an impact to the human. It is a human and AI. In the moment we go in the route of human versus AI, it becomes a battle. If the moment we say human and AI, it becomes a community. I prefer to go in the community route and bring a goodness in the AI to continually evolve, accelerate human excellence, right? So that's how I see it. And obviously, there's always a good side to it. There's always a bad side to it. I tend to focus on the good and bright side, and try to protect myself from the bad side as much as I can.
That's good. Unfortunately, we can't ignore it because we're out there protecting it.
We need to be aware of it, and this is why the AI literacy is important in many aspects. In terms of how do you even you put up like a 60 to 70% on how to enable, and then 30 to 40% understanding the AI literacy on cybersecurity, how to protect. It's always a continuous race. It's a never nonstop continuous race and a marathon when it comes to cybersecurity. So that's why there's two sides to it, and we have to balance as leaders to enable and protect at the same time.
Well said. I think that's great. So I guess that kind of brings us to, it's not doomsday, but when I took the internet it was called ARPANET, and then went to internet,
Yeah.
and there's 6 backbones. And we had T1s running everywhere, and then we went to T3s. And what's amazing to me is it took 10 years, and they said it's a tsunami of change. Well, if that was a tsunami, this is a meteor hitting the Earth. And I'll quote Warren Buffett. He said, "The end of mankind is going to be because of cybersecurity." And I think for our audience, cybersecurity is just a word. Really what it means is nefarious actions that you take against somebody else to create damage or steal, right? So it's a crime, but it can happen in any way digitally. So instead of going and robbing a bank up front, now I can go and sit in my basement and hack you and get your digital cash. So with that being said, I think we've had an amazing conversation today, and I appreciate you being here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but is there any closing thoughts? And as you have those closing thoughts, tell us a little about more how they can contact you and learn more about Dutch Bros, because this goes worldwide. So people will be interested in how they can actually find information about you, because you've been very knowledgeable and you've had some really insightful comments.
Yeah, thank you, David, for giving the opportunity to share. First of all, we are operating now in 22 states, I believe, and we are continuing to grow. So first and foremost, my ask is if there's a shop nearby, please come and visit us and if you're already a guest, thank you for being an awesome customer. And that's the first step. So then second one, to know about more about Dutch Bros, dutchbros.com, we have really, there's a lot of good information and good insights. And we are also hiring, and especially in technology. We are headquartered here, and we have an awesome campus. Someday I would love to host you, David, and give you a nice tour and fix you your favorite golden eagle. I'll personally make it for you.
Oh.
So invitation is open.
You have that experience.
Oh, yes. And I enjoy making it too. And we have a lot of amazing, good information about who we are and who are our team and our culture. And it's in our dutchbros.com. And we also, we are also growing and scaling. So check out career section. Our technology team is really on this mission of delivering impactful technology that serves our barista at the shops and delights our customers and enable business growth at speed with quality and service. If this mission excites you, who would not want to be part of this mission, right? Enabling our folks, right? Enabling people and helping and serving with technology and have fun while doing it. So check out our career sections. There's always some opens there. And then on a closing thought, first of all, this is amazing. First of all, thank you for having this, giving me this opportunity to have this conversation with you. I also wanted to share that this is my first year and survived the summer. I have to admit, it was hot.
It was hot.
Coming from Seattle. So, but figured out a way to manage through. But what an awesome weather now we are going through. And I have to say this tech community here has welcomed me with open arms. And you are an integral part of that, David. Even the moment I met the day one, there was a clear connection in terms of how we see things, technology, in terms of enablement and protection. So it's been great. So one thing led to another, and here we are talking. So thanks for that as well.
My pleasure. And also, I understand NextSpace helped build out your campus. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's
So
like similar stuff. IM Media helped us setting up the equipment, and a lot of good stuff happened. Yeah.
So NextSpace, for our viewers, is our sponsor. This is who actually built this space. So wanted to thank Jeff and NextSpace for hosting us. And it's kind of interesting how we all have integrated, and we're all part of a little group here in Arizona. It's a huge town, the 5th largest in the U.S., but it's the smallest town you'll ever know because everybody knows everybody.
That's what I'm realizing. It's so true, and it's such a connected community. Big city, small town. I don't know how to say it. Or small city, big town. However it is, folks are connected, and glad to be part of it. I also want to thank NextSpace for inviting me and sharing the space to host this podcast with you. Thanks again.
Thank you. Appreciate your time. And I look forward to seeing you on a personal level and getting that drink.
Likewise, looking forward to seeing you at our campus. Thanks.
All right. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for viewing. And hopefully you got some interesting information and a different perspective. And if you'd like more information about your security provider here across the U.S., it's CISO.inc. It's www.ciso.inc. So thank you, everyone, again for watching. And if you like the podcast, hit like, and we'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it'll be just as exciting as this one. Thank you again.
Thank you again.